Welcome to the latest episode of Branding the Experience, where we discuss ways where we can create environments where employees actually want to come to work and customers want to keep coming back. Hi, I'm Ken Bader, your host for Branding the Experience. I'm also the founder of Bader Training and Consulting and the author of the book, The Formula for Business Success equals B plus C plus S, a discussion on brand, culture, and strategy alignment. And what we're going to talk about today, as Branding the Experience would suggest, is we're going to talk about the B. We're going to talk about branding, and specifically that a brand is not a logo. Interestingly enough, many years ago, maybe it wasn't that long ago, probably about 16, 17 years ago, the very last formal university class that I ever took at the University of Chicago was a class on branding. And one of the things that they made very clear, there were two instructors in the class. It was the best class that I took at University of Chicago, by the way. But one of the things the instructors made very, very clear that a brand is not a logo. Much like I've talked about before, branding and marketing are not synonyms. Marketing is a part of branding. Branding is more holistic. Branding is more of an airplane view, while marketing is a little bit more tactical. Same thing, that a brand or branding is not a logo or the creation of a logo. Now, the logo is part of the overall brand, but it isn't 100% the brand. And that idea was brought back to light in my head just this past week as I was talking to some of the leadership of an association, a business association that I belong to, that is hitting a stage of growth where they need to figure out a direction, possibly a slightly, not drastically, but slightly new direction. And that happens in our businesses and organizations, that we hit some pain where we're growing or want to grow, and we need to do things that maybe we've never done before. Maybe we need to have a new perspective or a new way of looking at things. And wisely, this executive group that runs the association have thought, well, we need a new direction here. Our membership is kind of stagnating. Wisely, they see the passion for our group may not be at the same level as it was a couple years ago. So, what should we do about it? Now, unfortunately, and surprisingly to me, this group is looking very, very surface level on the change that needs to be made for this particular association. They sent out a survey, and the survey widely talked about logo, that we're considering a logo change. How do you think our logo should look? How do you think that it should feel? And so on and so forth. And there were some good questions in there. But as a member of that association, I couldn't help but continue to think, as I was filling out the survey and trying to give them as much guidance as I could, is that the logo isn't the problem. Maybe a new logo is appropriate, maybe it isn't. But what is possibly the problem, or at least the issue that we need to look at, is the message. Maybe we need a new rallying cry. Maybe we need a new tagline, or better yet, a new brand principle, as I like to call it, because it goes much deeper than a tagline. Maybe we need a new message that current and prospective members can rally around, that brings that passion back, and possibly in a different way, realizing that maybe we need something new. Maybe we need to have a slightly different focus, because that message is also a part of branding. You know, logo is a part of branding as well. In fact, branding is a culmination of a lot of different things. It's every transaction, every marketing piece, every conversation that we have. So an email that I would get from that association is part of their brand and building their brand. Every meeting that I go to and experience with that organization is a part of their brand and building that brand. If they were to change the logo, that would either add to or possibly even detract from the brand, because I recognize, and the other members recognize, the current logo right now. So if we change that logo, that actually, frankly, could possibly have a negative effect. Maybe some people don't like the logo. Maybe we don't recognize the logo as being that of this particular association. Or maybe the new logo creates some negative feelings. Maybe we say, well, why are we changing a logo? We've only been around for X number of years. So the brand or branding encapsulates and culminates in a number of different transactions, experiences, and communications. So changing that message to be more focused rather than just simply looking at the surface level of a logo or a look is where this association really needs to look, as well as where we need to look in our businesses. Much like I talked about in my podcast, Cool Culture Corner, look internally for the change that you need. Look to, in this case, look to the members of the organization. In our businesses, look to the staff and find, well, what is our why, or what is our what? You know, what do you feel it is? Because a lot of times that answer is right in front of us. So going back to my tagline that I open up on this show, creating environments where employees actually want to come to work and customers want to keep coming back, the logo has very, very, very little to do with that. And in the case of my example of this particular business association, the logo is not what keeps the members coming back. It's first the message and what they're trying to get out of it, and delivering that experience of education, networking, collaboration, and so forth that is the promise of your brand, which frankly is a lot more important than your actual logo. Thank you for spending some time with me today, and here's hoping that your logo, and more importantly, your brand, is achieving your results, what you want, at a very high level. Take care.